Change in plans. Before taking care of the killer bees, we are going to be playing a little mini-game, which is located right across the street here. So you go in this building, and inside is yet another character that, you know, I don't know what they were smoking when they designed the NPCs in this freaking town, but hey, you see he's bored out of his freaking skull, but tell him, yes, I'm interested to play your minigame, and suddenly he pulls out a cardboard cutout and pretends he's someone else entirely. I don't know. There are simply no jokes that can make this justice that I can think of right now, so you make your own jokes and tell me in the comments. Anyway, as for the minigame itself, it's sort of like Battleship. There, you have to hit groups of squids that are located on the grid. There is one group that's 2 squares long, another one that's 3 squares long, and another one that's 4 squares long. So it's just about the same as Battleship, and instead of you playing against a human player, you have to face a limit in the amount of cannonballs you can fire. So, now, I just want you to take a listen, because this guy provides his own sound effects as well. Listen!
Splish, 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 splish. Splish, 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 splish.
There we go. I was waiting for a kaboom, but it never freaking came. I just kept missing. So, yeah. This guy, he's just bizarre in so many ways. And, yeah, I totally failed, and, the enemies have retreated, or something, because he didn't have a scenario ready for when you lose. Anyway, at least we get an infinite number of tries. It costs only 10 rupees as well, and wow! Hit something right off the bat! Now, this is pretty awesome. The tactic you want to use is to try and spread out your hits as much as possible. And, oh my god, we only have the one with 2 squares left. We can just find it, please. I'm running out of cannonballs! Not getting it. Oh my god. There's nothing more aggravating than seeing that the last one, you completely surrounded it, but you never hit it. Now, this might take a little while, so if I fail this one, I'm gonna speed up and play music, just in case you know I have a really bad day at this. So I already got the one with 2 squares. This is the one that's the hardest to find, of course, because it's the smallest. Oh, and finally, here's another one. Okay, but I'm screwed. No, maybe I'm not. Maybe I can do this. Yes! Just in the nick of time. Awesome. Now, look at that. Look at that. You haven't seen everything yet from this guy. The children on the island would like to thank you, sailor. Hooray! Yay! That's not creepy at all. Oh well, at least I get a piece of heart. But we're not done, because there are more prizes to be won. If I succeed again, I'm going to get a treasure chart, and then I'm going to get another treasure chart if I manage to score under 20 cannonballs. So let's have at it again, and oh wow! Once again, I find one right off the bat. Here we go. You gotta be careful though. Sometimes they touch each other, so so you think you may have gotten one, but you just hit 2 that were touching each other. So it's really annoying when that happens. Come on! Oh yes, I got it! Yeah. So now I got both prizes for just completing the game. But it's going to be a little more complicated to do so in under 20 cannonballs. So what I'm going to do, I'm not even going to bother speeding up and playing music, since we might be at this for a while. So I'm just going to simply cut ahead to when I succeed. As for treasure charts, I'm going to explain what they do later, because this involves sailing and we haven't gotten started out on that just yet. Well, that didn't take long. I managed to get this on my very first attempt after cutting off the whole thing, so maybe I just cut that attempt for nothing, but oh well, there was no way to know that. Anyway, we're going to get creeped out by this guy once more. Now, since we already have both prizes for completing the game, we get 50 rupees instead. And as an extra, we are going to get the second treasure chart that's associated with this minigame. So we are now done with the Battleship game, so we're gonna head out there. But before we do that, I was about to forget, behind the ship right there, 3 yellow rupees. Yep, 30 rupees just standing around, waiting for you to pick them up. So, just in case you didn't know that, there are 30 rupees here. Now let's just open these treasure charts that I just obtained and try maybe figure out which islands these are. Okay, this one is Star Island, and this one is Diamond Step Isle, I believe. Sorry, it's just something I like to do, trying to guess which island is on which chart. Anyway, now let's deal with the killer bees. And obviously they're every bit as naughty as Mrs. Mary described them, so we're gonna have to try and tame them a little bit, and it's not gonna be easy. Well, actually, I'm just kidding around. It is going to be easy, mostly because I've played this game countless times before, so I know exactly what to do. But anyway, this bite-sized chump is going to challenge us to a hide-and-seek competition. And if I win, then maybe they'll consider skipping school and stuff. And yeah, the way this works is that these 4 kids are going to hide in various places around the island. So you gotta find them, and once you find them, they're gonna start running, so you have to catch them, just to make things a little bit more difficult. So, here they go! Now, the first time you play this game, it might be a bit tricky, because some of the places they hide in are really, sort of out there where you wouldn't really expect them. Well, this guy's probably the easiest one to find, and by the way, yes, I said this is a guy because the killer bees are all guys, even though some of them are rather effeminate. The Japanese. So, here's one down, and the others are in, well, they're not in the town square area, they're outside of the main town area, so I'm just gonna grab these rupees, since there's no reason to turn them down, ever. And here's Ivan, their mischievous leader, and he's gonna run. And, by the way, I was always irritated by the fact that the game lets them get a huge head start like that, and that Link doesn't even try going after them or anything. But anyway, here's the second one. Third one is behind the tombstone. And I gotta hand it to the little brat. Hats off for actually hiding this close to Tot. I would be creeped out as hell. And hats off as well for making that huge jump. Normally you'd expect his legs to transform into pudding after such a jump, but I just love the way they scream. It's like, Wah! Okay, that was bad. Anyway, last one is behind the bomb shop. Now there's a little pathway where you can sidle, not siddle, sidle. I apologize. But yeah, you can also just roll jump, and you're going to be able to just barely make it. And once again, mad jumping skills on display here. Run, I don't care, I'm still going to get you. Right after I take this money. Okay, now that all the distractions have been destroyed, time for us to finish this side quest. And here we go. So all 4 killer bees have been caught, so as our reward, I believe we are going to get, I know I'm supposed to get a piece of heart at some point according to my checklist, but I didn't check to see exactly when that happens. So, let's see what we got for this. And it is a piece of heart. So now I have pretty much everything I can get on Windfall Island right now. But I'm still going to go a little bit further in this Killer Bees side quest because it was just the first stage of many. So he sent me to apologize to Mrs. Mary, even though, you know, They could do so themselves, but as they say a bit later on, they're no teacher's pets. So, yeah, we're going to be running a few errands for Mrs. Mary on the behalf of this asshole. So, okay, what's the reward now? I already got the piece of heart. Okay, purple rupee. Yay! 39 rupees I can't carry. I guess this is what happens when I don't totally suck at the battleship minigame. Maybe I should have kept those 30 rupees behind the ship in reserve for when I come back to this island later on. But, oh well, it's not like I'm not going to have many problems when it comes to finances as long as I'm diligent about it. Most people do struggle with money later on in the game, but if you get every opportunity to make some money as it comes, you're not going to be in any trouble at all. So now, part 2 of the Killer Bees / Mrs. Mary side quest. Basically, these guys want to give her a joy pendant, but once again, since it would harm their reputation, their words, not mine, if they did it themselves, they're going to send me on a wild goose chase to find a joy pendant. Now remember that we got one such item from Lenzo in the last video. Now we're supposed to go find one on the island, then give it to Mrs. Mary. Well, we're gonna do the reverse. I'm doing it like that because I can and because I want to show you that it can in fact be done. And just so you know, you're going to need to hoard quite a few of these things over the course of the game if you want to get everything you can get from Mrs. Mary. Once you've given her that first one, she's going to ask for 20 more, putting the total to 21. So once you have all those 21, you're going to get something that is required to finish the game. So you need at least 21 joy pendants, and when you reach a total of 40, you get a really kick-ass item that I won't spoil. Let's just say that it's only in this game, and I really would have liked if I saw it in other games, but apparently they decided it wasn't worth it, but oh well. So, I'm just going to put the telescope back on the Y button, and I'm going to show you, if you didn't get that joy pendant from Lenzo, where you can get it if you're not interested in doing that whole thing with Lenzo, or you just want to do it later, or whatever. It's this tree over there. You gotta roll into it, and here we go. We found a joy pendant to replace the one that we gave to Mrs. Mary. And by the way, I just want you to sit back and enjoy this moment of the game when joy pendants are new and interesting, because they're going to get real old real quick. Sometimes the game is going to have you jump through all kinds of crazy hoops to get some treasure chests, and inside those treasure chests you have freaking joy pendants. Especially frustrating when you consider that you can just use your grappling hook on any bokoblin and you'll always have one of these. So it's just not right. And speaking of not right, here this dialogue implies that we haven't given the joy pendant to Mrs. Mary yet, when in fact we did. I guess they just didn't bother programming a different dialogue for, the reverse order that we actually did. Anyway, we're now officially done on Windfall Island, so it's time to mount Sean Connery and head out to sea. So we're first things first, we are going to head over to the east, since, well, we can't really go anywhere else for the time being, since we don't have control of the wind direction just yet. That ring of light that you see over there, it marks the spot of a treasure that you can retrieve using the grappling hook. But of course, we don't have that grappling hook just yet, so we're going to be forced to pass up on that money that we couldn't carry anyway. So we should be getting close to square B5 by now. Yeah, when you see those barrels with flags, go in between them, and barrels with rupees are going to start popping up. So you just have to slalom your way in order to grab those rupees. Now the island in the distance that we're seeing is called Pawprint Isle, and we're going to be exploring this in the next video since we're out of time, so see you then.